Good evening, everybody, and welcome to StatCheck episode 162. This episode is titled, Is Gladius Still Good? It is the 25th of November, 2025, and we are here to answer the really hard-hitting questions today on this episode of StatCheck. I am Innes, and I'm joined by Nathan and Anthony, and we are here to talk about all things Warhammer. We've got some stats, we've got some events, we've got some upcoming news, we've got some other content we did to share with you guys. Lots of stuff going on in the StatCheck household right now, and we are excited to tell you guys all about it. But before we get too far into that, let's start with the easy bit. Much like Pucci, when Anthony's not on screen, everybody should be asking, where is Anthony? And he's back. We have him. Anthony, how you been, my friend? It's been a while. How is life treating you?
Hello, I'm good. Things are going very well. The new job is incredible. Stuff is happening. That side of things is good. I signed up for a whole fucking bunch of Warhammer. I just booked flights for Vegas teams in January and Pyra in February and figured out some flights for Home Nations as part of Team USA in April and looked into all the associated travel with all of those things on top of maybe rallying a team for BFS again in the same month as Home Nations. So
we might be doing that, aren't we?
we are back in the motherfucking saddle. I have taken my post-WTC slumber to try and put some of the Team USA org stuff together. I've gotten a bunch of really talented people involved. We have a lot of energy in the space, contributing, doing things. That's all improved vastly, so I should have more time now for coaching and playing. So I am back on both of those fronts. Yeah, things are going well. I got a
He
little...
even cut his hair.
Yes, that's true. I got a haircut
reasonable.
for Lennon's wedding. I was supposed to get a haircut yesterday, but it didn't pan out. But I did get a haircut for Lennon's wedding.
I heard you went fully bald.
No. It wasn't that type of crazy. There are pictures on the Art of War Instagram, I think, of Lennon's wedding. You can watch me squint into the sun, because that's the only picture of me. That's
it was the practice weekend before WTC you went fully bald.
Yes, correct. It was the practice weekend where I got scammed. No, that haircut before Lennon's wedding went so well that I had a genuinely insulting amount of people come up to me and go, "Wow, you clean up nice." It was just too many different people to be like, "Wow, you look good. Oh, you can look good." It was too much. But it was good. It was a good time. So yeah, I did that. I am, eager to get into some Drakari nonsense. I am eager to test the Eaters into the field to see if my raving lunatic axemen still have what it takes against the Victrix and the spectacles of the world, and to see who we can hold. I hear word on the street is that those Victrix are not huge fans of the devastating wound ability. So we will see if we can make it through them as men, but probably not. We'll see.
Victrix Guard, they are just two up save intercessors stapled together.
Yeah,
with
they're
one
tough.
They are not
Immortal.
immortal by any stretch.
Correct.
It doesn't matter, but they aren't immortal.
Yeah, they're not immortal. They can die. They hurt real bad, even when there's not a lot of them left. But if you get a unit that isn't Calgar's unit down to the dregs, it's actually not that big of a deal. So we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. But yeah, it's go time again. It is time to, step up into being the role that I claim all year, into being, the vice captain, the co-captain of Team USA, and play some fucking games. But before I dive into the playing of the games is the organizing of the tournaments. I have a little RTT that I'm running this weekend. And then in December, I'm running a big old charity GT that we can talk about more later.
Sounds very reasonable. Nathan, why don't you tell us all about how things have been on your sharp end?
I hate Victrix Guard with a fiery passion of 1,000 suns, which is fine. It's okay. Everything's okay. It's really hard to kill a Victrix Guard with an AP1 unit if your opponent can, even through Lance, make them -2 to wound, which is kind of a dick move, really. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. The Hellions were never going to do anything anyways, except stand there like idiots and stare into oblivion.
Not in that matchup.
No, in that matchup, it's real risky business. Yeah, I just don't like fighting a Victrix Guard. I'm just going to go back to Eldari, where at least the Fire Dragons can kill all of the Victrix Guard. Sometimes.
They'll kill some of them.
They definitely don't,
definitely
by the
kill
way.
some of them. This is true. No rerolls is kind of a bad idea, but
I love taking 4-up saves against them.
Oh, but fair. Um,
Look, they're just another in a long line of overtuned units. I have definitely seen people lose their shit like it's not something we've had to dealt with before. It's like, oh no, an
Yeah.
undercosted Marine unit. Come on, guys, this is once a week now.
It's not
We
any
will-
different than anything else that we've had to deal with. It's
I'll talk more
more.
about my feelings on Victrix in my bit, but yes.
Yeah,
Nathan,
we'll talk
you are
about
not
Victrix
wrong.
some more in a minute. I'm not having as much fun in that matchup anymore, and that's okay. Sometimes you just have to like hit your head against something a few times. But I've been playing Eldari and been having a
They're
good time
just
with it.
a hammer and a meta full of nails, bro.
It's true. I just need to bring more chain swords to fight them or something. I don't know.
I mean,
That's
the Night
Anthony's
Elves
literal
handle-
plan. So
The Night
Yeah.
Elves can handle them, right? The ladies with the stabs.
The ladies do real good at it. So what happened to me most recently was just more dice than anything else that was frustrating. Is I put 8 wounds on a 6-up save into them, and my opponent rolled the 6 6s, and so I didn't kill the Victrix Guard unit, and then got the entire shit smashed out of me in the response.
Yeah.
It was okay. I have had though the succubus kill Calgar multiple times in melee combat.
Nice.
But more precious was me being like, Malice, you need to do something. Charging Calgar, hitting 2 death wounds, and just spiking Calgar off the table.
Nice.
Which, not a thing that I can depend on happening ever in a million years, but it was something that needed to happen in order to keep the game mildly close.
Look, if it happened, good enough.
True. But yeah, it was okay. I've been having fun with spiky elves and with not so spiky elves, and it's been a good time. And I'm
which
enjoying
attachments have
painting
you been
them.
liking for elves at the moment?
For regular elves, it's still aspect host. While it's I think it's the best one. It has enough like little levers you can pull to like turn off cover, get rerolls where you need them, because otherwise there aren't really a ton of rerolls except in fire dragons and vehicles. Spectacle of Spite for Drukari is kind of the clear front runner because combat drugs are good. Who'd have thought? The combat drugs table is decent.
Nathan officially says do drugs, kids.
You should do drugs as long as they're legal and don't put you in peril.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I think it's really crazy that their buff is not start of the game.
It should be. It should be you
Like,
roll
why
and
does it
get
not
2 for
work
the
the
whole
way
game.
the Bile one works? Or why does the Bile one not get updated to work the way that this one works? Preferably the other way around.
The problem that I've been hearing recently is that apparently at the WCW they ruled it as even if you roll randomly, you cannot ever get the same drug twice.
I mean that
which is
that's fine.
That's not how I interpreted that table sentence, but apparently it's how some people
run me through that one because I have no idea.
I'll read it to you now. Ready?
I know it's not how I had interpreted it, but
at the start of your command phase, select which combat drugs will be active for your army until the start of your next command phase. To do so, either select one from the list below, you cannot select the same combat drug more than once per battle, or randomly select 2 by rolling 2d6. When doing so randomly, combat drugs that you have previously selected can become active again, but if you randomly select one that is already active for your army, it has no additional effect, so you can't double up.
Yeah, you can't. It's not the doubling up, but some people have been saying that you cannot.
So it's like if you on turn 1 roll movement weapon skill, you can't then later pick either of them.
Yeah,
right?
you can't pick movement weapon
you can't
skill
pick movement later.
going forwards.
I've never seen a Drukari player not just double roll it every time because they're all gamblers, and I love them for that.
I mean,
I do roll my drugs every single turn. I won't lie, I do gamble.
It depends on the turn for the most part, but yeah, I think I would roll most of the time.
Well, the one time I got ballistic skill, which most people kind of hate, Scourge picked up 3 vehicles that turn. So, they were like, what if we hit all the time and then just murder all of the vehicles in front of us?
Average gambler, like the weakest gambling enjoyer versus the strongest pick drug selector.
Wait, do they even get the drugs?
Oh, no. They don't. I fucked that up. Congratulations to my life.
This is your Wraith Lords.
I just realized that right now that they're mercs. It's good that there was a game against a friendly opponent and not just...
Yeah, it was just some random one-off, but yeah.
It was just a random one-off.
Canceled, sorry.
Wow, I'm canceled. I fucked up.
That's get him, chat. Get him.
Yeah, get him.
Take him away, toys.
You get me. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It's the only unit in that entire thing that doesn't get him. Damn. Oh, well.
How you doing, buddy?
been doing all right. It's a new season. It's a new me, new year, new me. All that. We won a tournament. We did it. We did it, boys. I decided to just not lose, and then I didn't. Um,
That's
I
pretty
took the
good.
I took the best thing, and then I killed the bad guys, and it was pretty good.
What? No.
So I played Vitrix Guard at a something that was going to be a super major, and then kind of wasn't because the venue didn't open until 2 hours later, because the person that was meant to open it slept in. The venue got hired, and they just didn't show up until like 10:30 when we were meant to open at 8:30. So
That's
we didn't do around 7,
something.
which is fine. It was okay. We did 6 rounds instead. And yeah, I played Vitrix Guard, and they're really fucking good. I think I more importantly lost 1 Vindicator and 1 Gulliman in 6 games, and that was definitely more impactful for my winning, because the real secret of all of this Ultramarines stuff that's going on is that Gulliman and Vindicators and Calgar are fucking ridiculous, and there's just now an easier way to play them, and that's really the heart of this problem, is that +1 to wound double oath is not in any way, shape, or form okay, and the lone up lieutenant is insanity still, and everything that goes together is just like, wow, this whole package is way easier to play now, because on top of everything else, you can just run Gulliman and Calgar and also Vitrix Guard now at people, and there's a reasonable way to play a Vectora in Ultramarines now, which there was not before. Because look, people, company heroes are cool. They're pretty good. Company heroes with Ventress, at best mid. Ventress with Vitrix Guard is a war crime in that army, because people need CP to kill you when you're using a million defensive stratagems, and then they don't get to do them or any of their own defensive stratagems. And then also your Vectora moves during their turn because it reactive moves and then blood surges, which is not a thing that Cypher does, in case anyone's noticed that. And that is a lot. I think the moment for me that like snapped my brain in half was in the finals, which I played on stream on Saltar Games, so you can go watch it if you want. At one point, my opponent Scott draws some cards, just like a normal thing you do in a game of Warhammer, and they said go on the middle objective. So he did that, and then I blood surged Calgar directly into the open in front of a Dorn and said, "You won't shoot me because you've screened, and if you decide to shoot me, I will kill all of your screens and I will shove the other 1,800 points of an Ultramarine army through your deployment zone, and I'll also flip the middle and get a primary. So you're not going to shoot me with your Dorn who has only this as a target." And he did not shoot me because he could not shoot me. And at that point, I was like, "Yeah, it's probably not okay that this
That's
is
tough, dude.
The other Dorn then shot the Gravis Captain and did no damage. And that was the other half of the problem.
That's a bad day in the office, dude.
And then, the Vindicator walked forward, went Storm of Fire, +1 to wound, and picked up the Dorn.
Yeah,
and then it was bad. It was really bad. It was really, really bad. Yeah, I had one reasonably tough game, which was into Admech, where like the stars aligned to shit their pants. Gulliman failed a 6-inch charge, then didn't stand back up, and then Ventress and his friends with Lance killed 8 out of 10 Terraxi and couldn't consolidate onto his home objective. And I was just like, oh, okay, cool, yep, it's fine. 13, just a 13 instead into Ziegler's Admech list. And other than that, it was an 18 and 420s. What's not to love?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I played Bruce. Bruce is pretty good. Played Bruce in the semifinals. No, 18-2.
I'm gonna watch some of that. I watched a little bit of Bruce beating Bruce before it even started.
Yeah, that didn't help, but
yeah.
That's Bruce. Bruce is real good at that.
Just beating his very powerful army straight into the ground.
when the flawless blades have got to go and screen the objective from the Gravis Captain rapid ingressing on it, that felt good.
Look, the first 2 words of that sentence were the biggest problem in it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that the flawless blades part of that is the problem too.
Yeah.
It's okay. We can make fun of Bruce on the internet. It's fine. He won't be listening.
Taking the full blades to a tournament, dude.
I know. I told him to play 3 princes. I was like, just
sooner would take the World Eaters Heldrake, dude.
I would definitely not rather play the World Eaters Heldrake. But anyway, that's been most of my week. So yeah, 1 Celtic Cup, 2 years in a row.
Woo!
Pretty good. Technically, between the 2 Dumfries events and the 2 Doomhammer events, and also the first Super, I've won the 5 biggest events Scotland's ever had in a row, which feels pretty good.
Nice. That's sick.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
awesome.
Really, I've won every event in Scotland that's been over 60 players, I believe. That's ever happened. So we keep going.
Dominance.
we keep rocking on. Now the goal is to convert that into some other stuff. Now, what else is happening in the world of Innis? I'm going to the States in 2 weeks for a tournament. So
Why?
next weekend, I'm at Prestige, which is a team event. I'm playing the same Victory Scarred list. 2 weeks from now, I have a team event up here in Scotland. I'm probably playing Eldar for that, just before they get brutally murdered in whatever happens in December or January when we get a slate, because I have to assume that army's going in the bin. And then, yeah, I'm going to go and go to Anthony's charity GT because Anthony's a monster who bullied me.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Totally
Pretty
bullied.
much. Look, you posted it in a public channel and people started offering to send us money to get me out. So I was like, all right, we're just going to pay for this ourselves. I'm not going to get people to pay money for me to go to America.
That's right, baby.
So why
Anthony
don't we
should
talk-
write your list for this GT, though.
that
Worry
is
not.
not the plan. We have a way cooler plan.
Yeah.
So, Anthony, why don't you tell us a bit about the GT and what it's for, and then we'll talk a little bit about what the plan is for.
So I
some
just
content
dropped
around
the
it.
little link in our backstage so I can get linked in a place that is where it's meant to be. But it is the Warhammer 40,000 charity GT for the National Federation of the Blind of New Jersey. It's a not-for-profit that does a bunch of work with helping blind folks around the state of New Jersey either go to school or find employment or things of that nature. It's a really great cause. This will be the 3rd year that the event has run. The first was the first time that I dragged Innis to it. The second was the 100-0 I scored with Bile last year. And then this year, now Innis is going to come and try and match my perfect streak. It is a
Do I have
5-round
to?
event. It is.
Can I not just
in-
win? It's like
What?
just winning would be fine. I don't need to match the perfect. I'm okay with just match.
I'm
winning.
just saying. I did it. You could too. We'll ignore that Lennon might also be coming. The yeah, it's a 5-round event. It's gonna be played in a hotel that's not too far from me. It's in Mahwah, New Jersey. I'll probably post I'll post the BCP link up in StatCheck if people want to sign up and make the trip out. Innis will be there. I will be running the event. I'm not playing, but I will be running the event, running around. It is GW terrain. Which is going to be layout 1 for 5 rounds because I don't want to make people change tables, and that's one of the only reasonable GW layouts. What else? It is a singles event using diff. That's notable. So
It's the only reason I agreed.
I mean, it's a lot. I don't know. It's a more fun way to play. And I can't think of anything else off the top of my head that super matters. Oh, we use the WTC charge rule. And the WTC FAQ in general, just because I think
Layout 3 for 5 rounds, you cowards. Let's do layout 3 sweeping supply drop for 5 games. Exposure therapy. Hell yeah.
I said the other day to my locals that they were annoying me about something, and I was like, keep it up, and I'm gonna make all 5 rounds round 6 from WCW. So fucking watch it. But I didn't. Instead, I just made it 5 rounds of layout 5, and I think the missions are AOLPJ. Yep. And that's the event. It's gonna be sweet. If the event goes, I don't really have anything else to say. There's the cool servo skull that I used to have behind me. I got from that event, but he's in storage now because we moved. But yeah, it should be fun. Looking forward to running it. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody that's going to be coming down, and that's it.
So the important part for you guys viewing at home, Anthony, is there going to be a stream at the event? No. Cool. That makes things easier. So we're going to do some content around this event. But in order to make up for the fact that StatCheck's paying for it, we're probably going to do it behind the Patreon wall. So if you want to see a bunch of stuff about us doing some preparation work for the tournament and a bunch of stuff from us at the tournament, you can check out patreon.com/StatCheck. So the first thing that we're going to do is Anthony and I are going to design my list together, and we're going to sit and we're going to literally just record the process. I want to shout out AJ, one of the other guys, because when we did my WCW list, AJ was in the car with us. And AJ was like, I don't know what the hell just happened, but that was all super interesting. So we're just going to do what we did for WCW, but we're going to record it, and you guys are going to get to hear it. So that'll be a process. So we'll probably we'll be chatting about playing on layout 1, some of the options, the things that I have available to play, all that kind of stuff. I am almost definitely not going to play Space Marines for it, or at least I'm not going to play Ultramarines because it's really boring. I'm not going to fly over there to play Victrix Guard, having just played it for 2 tournaments. So that is the one thing that I will not do. But other than that,
shows up, dude, might be your best path.
Yeah, it might be, but I'm still not going to do it.
Fair enough.
So yeah, we will have all of that available on the StatCheck Patreon, because otherwise Cliff will call us out for taking money. So we got to justify it. Cliff
He just
absolutely
actually
would
shows
not.
up at our house if we spend the money frivolously. It's a whole thing.
Yes, we will probably post it on members only and on Patreon is probably the plan. So yes, you will be able to see it that way if you would like to get access to it. So yeah, there will be a bunch of stuff. Hopefully there'll be at least 2 videos coming out of it. Ideally, probably 3 will be the goal.
Yep.
All right, Nathan, you want to talk to us about some stats?
Sure. I peeled these from somebody who I will credit in the show mentions in a little bit. As soon as I grab
Is it the one that was on Reddit?
It's just the one with the background that is a Death Watch image that I'm just going to pull up real quick.
Oh, sure, yeah, I know the one you're talking about. That guy doesn't.
Honestly, I'm just going to summarize some really quick information. I will credit them in the show description and make sure that I call them out on the next show. I just am going to run through real quick, kind of the general trend of it. I mean, only really big thing that I see here is that Necrons managed to win 3 events again, which is kind of nice for them. But Space Marines won the most events. They won 5.
What?
Look at that.
Terrifying.
I'm not even slightly surprised. They also did it while still having a very middling win rate of only 51%. They won the most events of the weekend. At the bottom is Imperial Knights, Chaos Space Marines, Sisters, Death Guard, and Grey Knights, with a 44 down to a 28.5 for Imperial Knights, that's bad. That is a bad win rate for Knights. On the top end, you have Death Watch and Adeptus Mechanicus is on the only stuff that's like really outside the window, and Thousand Suns kind of at the gap. And the top 5 goes from Death Watch, Admech, Thousand Suns, Leagues of Votan, and Necrons, and the ranges from 52.7 for Necrons to 60% for Death Watch, and then everything else is kind of in the middle. Custodes also won another event, and yeah, Dark Angels won an event, which somebody was telling me was in Minnesota, and somebody playing bike spam of some kind.
Yeah. That was what.
So kudos for them.
Right?
And
the Jesper list.
Yep.
But we will get updated stats and everything up to the website probably next week because of the holiday, but we'll see if we can get it in on Wednesday or something this week. Kind of depends on how stuff works out for various folks who need to spin those wheels. But that's really all I wanted to talk about for data. We just have this 1 week of data in here. Honestly, it does look like Marines might be sucking all of the energy. Oh, it's only 2 wins. They had 5 undefeateds. That's what it was. I'm sorry. I read that incorrectly.
They had 4 event wins, I think. They still had the most.
Yep, they still have the most, but I think a couple events just aren't included in this, which is fine.
Yeah, I think it's a consequence of a flat meta, right? Like things are normally, generally fairly well balanced right now, outside of like the exact pockets of things that are fucked. And
yeah, people have not had a lot of time to get Victrix Guard, and not a lot of people own 60 Sicarians.
Right.
Yeah. There's going to be swings, which is what Anthony has talked about like a lot on this show, right? Has talked a lot about how week to week some factions are just going to spike up and then it'll kind of level out over the course of like longer periods of time. Like week to week data is always going to be kind of weak, or week to week data will always not be as statistically relevant as doing a 4-week running average or doing longer term data, which will actually be how you get meta situations out. Because on a week-to-week basis, it's going to spike with maybe AdMech winning 3 or 4 events, or with Space Marines now with models coming out winning 4 or 5 events. And then it'll peter out as people kind of figure stuff out, but it also might spike in a different direction. With like last week, Eldar picked up a bunch of events, but they aren't doing as well this last weekend. I think by the end of December, we'll kind of have a picture of kind of what the effect of Victrix Guard's release kind of has on the meta. So it'll just be a few weeks. December is also very slow as events go. So we'll probably have a bunch of events kind of in the first half of December, and then things will slow down in the latter half of December. So we probably won't know what happens until like January. Also, we have Grotmas, which may end up with detachment releases and other stuff getting released. We also have the threat of a data slate coming out either in December or in January. So like things might change there. We'll kind of have to see what will happen with everything.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom, is what Z Vipster says.
Yeah,
which is great.
I'm curious to see if we get So I feel like last year, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like last year before Grotmas, we had kind of a similar conversation where we were like, hey, things are, progressing into a broadly pretty good spot. And then they were just like, by the way, fuck
What
you.
if also here's Star Shattering Lions and
Fuck your next 6 months.
Legion of Excess? God.
And I feel like we're like, mostly recovered from that at this point.
Yeah.
And
We're just about recovered from Grotmas at this point. Yeah, I think.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're
And
recovered
the
from
associated
last
releases
December.
thereafter that kind of
Yeah.
snowballed, right? Like, but the Grotmas, in my opinion, started the fall again, right? Like things were pretty smooth for a while post WTC, right? Things were kind of like figured out and broadly in like a decent spot, and then like
Yes, because we
the
didn't get any books for
Grotmas-
4 months.
yeah, Grotmas into fucked up book releases really like threw us into the wall
Accelerated
for a
the
while.
process, yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
It
I'm
doesn't
hopeful to avoid that
seem-
happening again.
Yeah, and
but
it doesn't
we'll see.
seem like we're getting that this time because they have said that it's like fiction, maybe some rules and some model releases is like in previews.
I am
which
so
is
incredibly
different,
ready
but-
for it to be a fucked up Titus data sheet day one that just immediately goes in Vintrix card.
Oh, man, please don't. It's gonna be. Oh my god, Titus is gonna have his own. He has his own retinue already. You're gonna attach that whole retinue of people to a Victrix card unit.
Yep.
Maybe
God
he sucks.
damn it.
Maybe he's not good.
I hope he
Maybe he's
comes with
bad
like
and doesn't
6
matter.
little shitters, just like Grimaldus does, and every single one of those little shitters has a 4 invulnerable save to just tank multi-melter shots like fucking.
One wound, 4 up invuln, just tanking them.
1 wound, 4 invul, 6 up armor save, so that if you try to fire an cursor at them to like trigger +1 to hit, I can blood surge into you.
Honestly, though, there's something really funny about double attaching Sicarius to that unit.
Yeah,
Because then he's with the captain who replaced him as
No, Sicarius
captain
can only double
after
jump to
intermediate
Calgar, I'm pretty
captain.
sure.
Aw.
Yeah, he has to.
That's
I'm pretty sure it's
sad.
Calgar. He can't use
Titus
it.
should obviously count as Calgar keyword for the purpose of Sicarius joining. That's what is missing.
I honestly am just so amused at the sheer idea of him being attached to the captain of his.
They
of
should also
his
print a version of Gulliman that can attach to Victrix guard.
Shut up.
Why not? You know what? Sure. At this point, whatever. Just do it, Innis. Just put that energy into the universe.
And then we can get Calgar on jump armor and Calgar on Rough Rider and
Marnay,
Moving on.
Calgar in a storm raven.
I think I've had enough of this conversation.
All right, moving on. Look, I think that Marines or Ultramarines specifically have clearly passed the threshold of
do not need +1 to wound oath.
of keeping +1 to
Correct.
wound oath, right? Like they have more unique units than anybody else, basically. Where I think we're well past the threshold where them keeping that is unnecessary.
Or you need to give it to all of the Marine chapters, including Ultramarines abilities, and nerf the fuck out of something else, which seems like a terrible version. So maybe just take it away from them.
Yeah, I just the slippery slope. I do not want to play against Deathwing Knights with +1 to wound or
No, me neither.
on and on and on. I don't think it should be an everybody rule.
Yeah. I don't frankly want to play against Black Templars Repexes with +1 to wound. Oh, they don't get that, thank God.
They don't get that.
Yeah, Black Templars. So Black, it would be an unnecessary Black Templars nerf, is what I'm hearing. So
Right. I
I don't need to play against Space Wolves with +1 to wound oath for sure.
Yeah, fuck that. It just shouldn't be a rule, right? It just whoops. They could just walk it back. They could save themselves a lot of headache by walking that specific thing back. But we'll see.
Yeah, I would very much like to see that.
Or you just make all the Victrix Honor Guard, make the whole unit an Epic Hero unit, so you can only ever take 1 6-man unit of it.
But I already bought 12, Nathan.
I mean, I do think.
I don't.
I'm gonna be honest. I do think they should do that.
I also agree, but fucking I bought 12 of them, Nathan.
Like a dedicated transport, they have to be attached to a character. They die turn 1. All of them.
They should just be cap unit size at 3 as well, to be honest. That would be the...
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't really see a lot of reason for them to go beyond 6. Cap them at 3 and then let you attach the 2 extra guys for like 70 points each. And you can have 1 squad of 5. And then you're like, fucking, that's it. And 3's otherwise.
I think
I don't even know if you need to do that.
You could cap them at 3. There's a lot of things you could do to make them less ridiculous. It's just kind of stupid how it currently works.
I think their -1 to wound should turn into the actual -1 to wound everybody else gets, where it has to be strength higher than your toughness as well. Just as
Hey,
an
if
aside.
Scarab Occult's Terminators get it, they're at least cooler than Scarab Occult Terminators.
I agree that
No.
Scarab Cult Terminator should be changed also.
Yeah, there you go. That's also
That is
reasonable. I think just
probably true, yes.
Yeah.
I think just all of them should be changed to be strength higher than toughness.
Oh god, the Germans were right all along, weren't they? It's the worst part.
Did they say that?
Well, Malta talking about the fucking with the Scarabacults, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mm. I don't know. Otherwise, it's like I don't understand what the pointing situation was where they were like, yeah, the 6-man should be cheaper than the 3-mans are on a per model basis.
Obviously, the extra models are like the ability to blood surge on a bigger unit's worse, right?
The problem is it makes sense if you're assuming they all have the champion and the banner, right? Like, it doesn't hold up once you think about it for more than 15 seconds, but the initial thought is,
It really seems like the classic GW. We didn't think about what if they just took more than one of them problem. Where it's like the original ACDC were fine if you had one squad, but what if you just take 3 guys? What if you take 3 reinforced squads?
I mean, the original AC/DC
No one's ever
weren't
thought
even
of that before. We only painted one box.
yeah, they're
We were playing them without dark communes, and we thought they were okay.
they were. That's true. At the time, that was not incorrect. But
Either that or like they just didn't think about attaching old Calgar to them.
I think like I said, I don't know what it is, but it's just like mistake town, right? It's just an error, and it's okay that they fucked it up, assuming that they are agile about noticing that they fucked it up and make adjustments, right?
Sure.
If
Yeah,
the
I hope
slate
they're
comes
in
and
whatever the
goes-
next slate is.
Yeah, if the slate comes and goes and there's no adjustment in there, then we can be mad. The slate is
Yeah.
assumedly quite soon, and hopefully will help with this. I
I'm
would
hope-
like to see them go to 130, 260. We'll see how that works.
Sure.
Yep.
I would
I
also
like
like to see
120 I like
Captain
120,
Sicarius
260.
go.
And the guys cost an extra 10 points for the banner and the champion.
Sure, you could do that also.
I would also like to see them actually legends their Black Library exclusives and put Captain Cato Sicarius out back since he's now a bodyguard unit and no longer a captain.
Fucking
Like,
the fact that you can play
come
old
on,
Cato,
guys.
and he's just like insanely good for no reason. But he's also still on a 25mm base.
He's on
Yeah.
a 32, I think.
He is absolutely not. He is on a 25.
Really.
It is in the app. He charges through walls just fine, baby.
Yeah, I just think it's funny that Uriel is the only Black Library exclusive who has rules that aren't legends, basically.
Do you know the one that like wilds me out is that why does Sicarius, who is not in Tacticus art, who is not a Primaris model, have the Tacticus keyword when none of the other firstborn characters do? Like Vulcan didn't have it before he got his update, but Sicarius does. So Sicarius can go in impulsors for just no reason.
Yeah, that's dumb.
But yeah, I think there's like some cleanup that needs to happen is really what part of this situation is kind of exacerbated by, which is that there are some data sheets that probably should just
The
be
app
legends.
says 25 for Sicarius, so that might just be an app thing. Okay, well that's
Yep.
nice at least.
Yeah,
And
I think
some points changes probably are just appropriate at this point.
I think it's a fixable problem. I just think that they have,
Oh,
to,
100%.
they have to fix it, right? Like, it's not, Is it? It's certainly too many rules. But also, like, you can, as we see with Thousand Sons, who are still doing quite well, you can point an army with fucked up rules into a space that's
A
more
reasonable state. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with you there. I think there's a point where you probably just take the +1 to wound off. Maybe that happens in the 500 Worlds thing when they get these
Oh, God,
extra
we have 3
Ultramarine
more Space
specific
Marines attachments coming
detachments.
as well.
I don't know if
I
they're
can't wait
Space
for the
Marines as
battle-
much as they're
I can't wait for the battle
Ultramarine
line Victrix
detachments.
I
Oh,
think that, ignoring even the +1 to wound, Victrix are too cheap. Even if they did not have +1
Yeah.
to wound, they would be too cheap,
I agree.
right? So they
I
probably
think I
can go up either
broadly
way.
agree, yeah.
And then taking away the +1 to wound should be separate to that decision, but would be reasonable.
I
But we'll
think
see.
there is maybe an argument that it is not necessarily in a world without +1 to wound. It's not necessarily the Victrix liturgy, but Calgar. I could see that argument, but I'm not 100% sure.
I would definitely say the Victrix are still too cheap. Like, it's not hard to get them +1 to wound in melee.
Yeah, for sure. Certainly, it would make stuff like Stormlance a lot worse, right? Which does kill a little bit of diversity, but also not the end of the world.
Yeah, I think it seems
Something
quite obvious
something
that
can't
it's a
be
mistake.
balanced, have to be bad. Something something.
It's not even
Yeah.
that, right? Like, it's not like that crazy. This is not like you can't be balanced. This definitely could be balanced. It just isn't right now.
I still think that like the combination of reactive and blood surge is just inherently kind of problematic and not a thing that should really exist. But
I agree. I mean, I think fucking nobody else should have blood surge. I hate that happened.
it should only be for Corn Berserkers and
Dude, why
Yunari.
must Corn Berserkers hit on 4s with their pistols, only be strength 4 and AP 1, and still, like, what are we paying for? Is it the blood surge? Because clearly that doesn't factor into price too much. What the fuck is going on?
It's the ability to go to 20 models that you're paying for.
Why are they 18 points a model on a 10-man then? Very
knows?
frustrating.
Buri does both and he is irrelevant. I don't think Buri is irrelevant. He's just a little expensive. And also a blood surging model is a little more I turned Anthony's volume up like 5%. It should be hopefully be okay.
Okay.
Yep. I'm just letting chat know that we're not ignoring them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buri, the problem with doing it is like all lone operative doing it is not the same as a unit doing it. Because a unit blood surging is like cascading effects, right? You let a unit blood surge, it moves a bunch of directions because only one guy has to go closest. A bunch of people move around, and suddenly you're losing multiple units. When a character does it, it's like, okay, so that dude's in combat with me now. Annoying, but not the end of the world.
Yep. It's not the same as 6 Victrix Guard kind of sashaying their plus 2 characters sashaying their way towards you and then murdering you in melee combat.
I mean, even like, there are instances where the unit will like rapid ingress onto an objective or something, and the wrong answer is to shoot them, and that seems incorrect.
Yeah, I actually never really deep struck the Victrix Guard, but I was also only playing 2 squads. I think if you're playing 3, it becomes much more powerful to do that.
It's more of an 18 line.
Yeah, or it's a GW terrain thing because you can't fucking stage
That's
on some of those maps.
Not
Can we talk about the new stat check of the 27 model KD rigs? Shocking! The components of Nemo's recon list are good outside of Nemo's recon list. More news at 11. Guys, are Rough Riders good?
That's a vibe.
Yeah, Horde is good, guys. People are continually just building greedy lists to kill infantry, to kill like vehicles and medium infantry, and then suddenly you are just like, fuck. I didn't bring an answer for 27 models because all of the good ones are just not in my list because I decided I was willing to lose to that.
Yeah.
It's okay. You're allowed to decide you want to lose to hordes. You could also just bring like some blast weapons and some strip and cover and have a good shot. Or you can just not and lose to them and just hope you don't play them and be right most of the time. But that's a choice that you're making.
But when you're wrong, boy, is it going to feel bad.
When you're wrong, boy, are you really wrong.
It's okay.
Hordes are good.
Yep.
Hordes are always a little good. It's never a horde map, but hordes are always good.
Yeah. The problem is, like, the minute it's a horde meta, the Gladiator Reaper pokes out from around the corner and makes it not a horde meta anymore.
It just pops up from behind the fence and goes, what if all of your units died?
Yeah. To answer the question from chat, yes, world leaders with sustained and dev do eat through Victrix, assuming you connect. That's the hard part, usually.
And assuming you get dev, which is not guaranteed.
Yeah, that's true, too. It's not free to get dev. It's harder than it used to be, particularly in lists that don't run in favor of Corn. But also, perhaps more importantly, if they're running the 12 to 18 Victrix, you also often want Fight on Death available, at least. So... balance.
And you kill the Victrix brick, you're not necessarily killing the character to get another buff up.
Yeah. It depends, If you let Dad in there, small Dad, not winged Dad. If you get small Dad in there, you'll probably get through to the character.
If you let the vodka ant of the World Eaters Codex in.
Yeah. the king, dude. King Karn. I put it to you that I think that Karn and 10 Berserkers might be the best unit in the Chaos Super faction. That unit is so good.
It's definitely like top 3, right?
Right? It's like Bilebrick, them.
Guo.
No.
Feel no pain. I love that guy. He's so good.
He's not that
He's
good.
good.
He's pretty good.
Emperor's Children Wing Prince. There we go.
Emperor's Children Wing Prince. I would posit 10 Warp Talons in good detachments are also in that conversation.
The old turn you to Ash Infernal Master.
the Death Guard Prince.
That thing sucks. I'm gonna say
I like that guy.
it's just not that good. Sucks is ambitious. It's not that strong. It could have been like basically anything else in Albin's list, and it wouldn't have mattered.
I think he's really good.
He's fine.
Double
Yeah.
Gatling Cannon Chaos Despoiler? I don't know.
Also quite good.
Also up there, the Beast of Nurgle, just conceptually.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
Nurglings also conceptually still a really good
Nurglings
unit.
for what they enable, right? Because Nurglings
Right.
are battle line,
Sure.
so they let you take beasts for nothing.
Correct. The Nemesis Claw unit is also very
Nemesis
good.
Claw is actually not that good. It's a tech piece.
I mean, it's
Nemesis
a good tech
Claw,
piece.
when
that
they're
enables
good,
other things.
are hilarious. You know what is really good in Victrix? Poking them with a Nemesis Claw and then getting Captain Prime Test Subject into the side of them and being like, get the fuck off my table,
love that
blueberry
guy.
nerd. No defensive strats for you, sweetheart.
That was literally my thought after seeing people playing 12 or 18 was like, I guess this is just Nemesis Claw plus Prime Subject deck.
Dude, it's
That
Do
was the
your
entire
best.
army. That was the reason
Yeah.
we took it to Worlds, baby.
Just like,
that,
okay.
Did you know what that bio list has a really good combination of? Like 6 of those things that we said were the best unit in Chaos.
Yes.
Bile Brick, Nurglings, Warp Talons, Nemesis Claw, Cypher,
Beast of Nurgle,
Noise Marines, Beast of Nurgle. It's a really nice little combination of everything we said was good except Winged Princes. And what did I lose to? Winged Princes. So
that specific Chaos Lord is like one of my favorite characters as well. I fucking love that guy.
Chaos. What a faction, eh?
Chaos is great, dude. Ever since I switched, I haven't gone back.
I know.
You know what it is? You
I
get sold.
respect
You
it.
get sold a bad line by the bitching in the wider community about the Chaos factions, right? Everyone's always like, "Oh, my Chaos faction terrible." Chaos rocks. If you can just pick 2, you play CSM so that you always have something that's at least pretty good, and then you play your favorite God marked Legion, and you will run out of time on the earth before you run out of functional builds. It is so nice.
I think there's this thing too, because there was that Reddit post with like a community tier list that slotted Chaos Space Marines and Chaos Demons both into D tier. And I was like, whoa, hold a phone.
Demons
Chaos
I can
Demons,
understand.
Big
But
Boy
CSM?
Demons have multiple detachments that are good. 2 being multiple. So they have two good detachments.
I
Two
don't
and a
think
half.
demons have any good detachments, dude. I think demons.
I don't
fucking
know.
suck.
I won 2 small tournaments with them, by the way. But yes, with very little practice on Chaos Demons, you can just stack check the hell out of people and win.
Yeah.
Which is amusing and funny. It is just entertaining. Also, Tau Empire are still in D tier on that one, which I think is also quite funny. But
Yeah, I mean that seems like a mistake, but you know, whatever. But CSM and
Yeah.
D tier is insane work.
Insanity, yeah. Given
yeah.
what they've done this metagame,
For a book that has access to just in Renegade Raiders, like ACDC builds, tank builds, melee MSU builds, fucking yeah, insane. Just in Renegades. Before you get into like the variety of builds in Bile, the variety of builds in Vets, nuts.
100%. I think it's
the
just
average CSM player, it's just doing it wrong. And people keep showing Chaos Space Marine players the template, and Chaos Space Marine players keep going, nah.
There's
Not
just so
doing it.
many different ways you can do it too.
Yep. There's so many ways you can do it wrong. It's the
That's
most-
fair.
that is also true, though. I mean, otherwise, it's just interesting to look at this community army tier list, just because I don't know why people are doing this.
You're not baiting me into talking about a tier list.
I mean, they've got Raven Guard in C tier, which I think is also an undershot, but you know, whatever. It's fine.
Again,
Everything's
for
fine.
a list written by like the broader span of the community, I believe that. Like, you know, Raven Guard
Mhm.
has done a great job of having 3 people do well with it, and everybody else just put their teeth directly into the ground.
Sure. It's just amusing to me because like World Eaters are in C tier on it too, and I don't think that's true either. But I don't know. The community has its own perspective at large on Reddit, in particular, about what is and isn't going on in the meta at large.
And that's fine. They're entitled to those opinions. I just don't have to listen to them.
I am
Correct.
perfectly willing to accept that is an incredible tier list for people who go 2 and 3 and 3 and 2, and that it's just not for me, and that it's not content I need to worry about.
Yeah,
That's fair.
it's fine.
It's fair and reasonable. Don't worry, Anthony. I will stop trying to make you talk about a tier list at this point.
Yeah.
You're okay.
I see you. I saw you. Good try.
I'm working it. I'm working the angles here,
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to get.
Trying to get in on the edges, dude.
All about trying to generate. We're just trying to generate maximum Anthony Rage content this episode.
No,
Not really.
so far
We
so
haven't
good.
We've
We
not
haven't
had you.
freaked out
We've
once.
not had you for too long, man. We're trying to get you. Trying to get you going.
I know. I'm a changed
Um,
man,
It's
dude.
true. No longer angry at all.
How do you feel about World Eaters Helldrakes?
So they're not good. But
there was a moment where Anthony stalled out.
they're not good, but they're really funny into specifically Drukhari if they don't take enough scourges. If the Drukhari get greedy and just cut all their scourges, you can just get real silly with them Helldrakes.
100%.
Tell us all about how. Why is that?
So the Helldrake moves 20, and then it shoots a flamer, a Bale Flamer, for those of you who still think that Disco Lords are good units. The Bale Flamer is sick. And when he charges something that flies, you can fuck their day up righteously. Because it's still a World Eater unit, so it still gets the blood buff table. So when you charge something that flies, they have anti-fly 2-up and dev. And that shit is funny.
And I guess plus 1 to hit against fly units as well.
Yeah, so he hits on 2s. He'll probably have sustained. And then, you're in there. Kill like 7 Hellions or something.
Wow, you've almost covered your 200 points.
You probably burn them first, and that means they're all dead now.
There's your 200 points back, basically. There you go.
It's not that hard to cover the difference.
that.
You can use them as ghetto spawn upgrades, downgrades.
Advance and charge EC Heldrake on turn 1 is so fun.
Yeah. Well, the secret here, Ashley, is that this one flies and moves 20, which is not a common skill set amongst the World Eaters. So anymore, anyway. Rest in peace, Angron being able to advance and charge. But once upon a time, a commonly had tool for us. No longer. So, the World Eater Heldrake.
So how does this compare to the Storm Raven?
Poorly, so poorly, not even close. They're not even vaguely the same thing. The fact that there's only an 80-point difference between the two of those is insane. But whatever, it's fine. It's fine. If
you put it in, Anthony, if you put it in flight mode, it can ignore terrain with its Bale Flamer.
True. If they knock Drakes down enough, I will consider giving them a for actual use. Now that I've actually had to look at them, but it's very unlikely that they.
Okay,
they don't
hear me
have
out.
planes.
Emperor's Children Flying Circus, Fulgrim, Triple Winged Prince, Triple Heldrake.
Nah, probably not. Right?
But
Seems unlikely.
Come on.
Huh?
Huh?
No.
Huh? You play it on Sweeping Engagement Layout 3 every game.
And 1 in 4 games you'll win.
It didn't say it had to be supply drop. Just
Oh, okay, my bad.
it could be any. It could be any mission on Sweeping
Any
Engagement.
sweeping engagement missions, kosher.
Yeah, exactly. You just go turn 1.
Yeah, see, Ashley, it does just kill a Riptide. It's good into certain things, but not most things, so it's not
Is it
actually
damage
worth
3?
doing.
No.
If your meta is just one Drukhari player who is your menace forever,
If you
just
hate
It has to be curious what's the points on this. I'm pretty sure that the core of that, which is the Fulgrim, is like the Winged Princes and the Eldritch are the same points. Just before anyone gets like crazy about this, they're both 200, and then Fulgrim's 340. So this is 1540, and you still have 560 points to spend on Noise Marines.
tons of room for Tormentor squads, dude.
One Tormentor squad and triple Noise Marines, baby.
Yeah. Look, if you think about it, the Helldrake is just AP1 damage to ignore cover shooting, which is basically Noise Marines, and they fly pretty far.
And it's AP1
charge.
damage to melee, which is basically everything except the Exultant.
It's just like a Demon Prince, dude. So it's like a bad fusion of. All right, I can't even keep this bit up. This
It's
is
way
fucking
better at
awful.
killing melee. It's way better at killing fly vehicles than a Helldrake, than an Emperor's Children Prince is.
True. See, you can do 4 damage in a really flashy way to a Storm Raven. All right, what else we got? What else is on the agenda that isn't this?
I'm just trying to find more ways. I'm just thinking of more ways
Innis,
to rage
talk
bait
about
you, Anthony.
Innis, go talk about your major win.
Nah, I'm gonna do an episode on it when I get a chance. So
I guess. if
I
that's
know
something
I spoke
you
about
do.
Victory Start already. That was fine.
That was how we won.
What
his
was their
major, so-
tally? Honestly, what was the tally
The tally of what?
of things you killed with Victrix Guard over the weekend? How
I
many
left
Victrix Guard
6
did you
Rangers
lose?
alive in 6 games.
Damn.
6 Rangers.
Oh, AdMech Rangers.
Yes, I left one squad of 6 Rangers alive in 6 games.
I was real confused how you left 6 Eldar Rangers alive. I was like, did he take 10? Why didn't they all die? I had so many questions.
Highlights included killing all of my opponent's Banshees in my opponent's turn 2. Jane's my opponent tried to push a Wave Serpent at me after pushing Jane's at me, so I reacted, moved in curses, and blocked his disembark. And then he had to charge Jane's into me anyway, and then she killed 1.5 and then died.
Eesh.
Brutal.
It was pretty rough. What were some other fun ones? On turn 3 against my round 1 opponent's Recon Guard, I had all 14 Victrix on his home objective.
God damn it.
Let's talk about anything else.
Like, these aren't good stories, guys. I don't know what you want from me.
Do the plugs.
To do that.
I did lose 3 Victrix Guard that game to the Dorn exploding.
Innis, it's okay. Do the plugs. Just do them before we actually break Anthony a little bit.
Oh, sorry. I need a second.
I guess I can talk about the show while you prep yourself for.
I mean, I could do a couple of things.
Sure.
I did an episode of the Thursday Night Fight Night with Nassim on 6++. So if you want to see me and Nassim play a variation of my Creations of Bile list from WCW against NASA's new Death Guard Virulent Vertorum with Bright Lord Terminators, you can check that out on 6++. It was the last Thursday the 20th, something like that. It was super fun. We had a really good game. Me and Nas had a ton of banter. It was really good fun, so you can go and check that out. And I'm also pretty sure I'm doing Art of War next week to chat about the Celtic Cup win. So if people want to hear a bit more about that as well, you can check that out. Has anyone else on the network done any content recently that we should plug?
We started a new show.
You did start a new show.
We started a new show. Yeah, so we started a show. Seth, Francois, and myself have started Medicaid's orders.
That's Seth Oster, previously of Signals from the Front Line.
Yeah, and his own channel, and on War Games Live, where he did the bonus content show in between thing. Like, I can't remember the name of it anymore. Francois, who is of Canhammer fame. Yep, Canhammer and Canada's WTC team fame. And then myself of StatCheck fame. Congratulations.
We know who you are, Nick. It's okay. You don't have to.
And so we're making a new show called Medicaid's Orders, which is alternating every other week. So there is no show this week, but there will be another show next Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We basically, I think we called it the potpourri show, or the corpse starch of Warhammer 40k content, because it covers basically everything except Warhammer 40k content. We talked on our episode from last week, which was our first episode. We talked about Francois' decision to reapply for the Canadian WDC team, and then Seth's WCW run. And then we talked about no other 40k content the rest of the time that we were talking. It was just about everything else. Yeah, so go check it out. It was fun. It was fun to record. It really had nothing to do with Warhammer 40k. Except for the first 20 minutes of it. And that was kind of it. See? There you go.
Hello?
Sure.
1 second while I go see what that's about.
Yeah, Halo Bang Out. The Blood Surge is 100% incredibly good on Victrix, and very much changes how your opponent interacts with them, because it's not good in the abstract that you can't just rely on it to keep yourself alive, because it's a D6 Blood Surge, right? It definitely does not just work for free. Your opponent can play around it to a degree that they can't with World Eaters having effectively a flat 8 if they want it, or all these kind of things. There are better versions of Blood Surges. It is not the strongest Blood Surge in the game, but what it is incredibly good at is protecting your unit on an objective if your opponent wants to play the game. And it turns out that that's most of how you score points. So making it very difficult for your opponent to interact with that is quite problematic. There's also definitely a degree of, if you can tag something that moves 6, you can make your opponent's life very difficult by threatening to just slam into it, right? There's a ton of stuff like that you can cause some very real problems for people with. So you do have to be really conscious of that. That it is very, very it's not always incredibly powerful, but it is always a thing that your opponent has to consider. And when you add that layer of rule stacking onto a unit, it is very easy for it to get out of hand quickly, because rules like that are not additive, they're exponential, right? Like the power of a reactive move and the power of a blood surge are both very good rules in the abstract. The combination of both of them is more than the sum of just adding the two together. It is now you have to play around a reactive move into a blood surge that could happen on something that you didn't think it could because the reactive move pulled something else to be closer, right? If you've ever played against Saga of the Beast Slayer Space Wolves, it is the entire purpose of that detachment is that it has reactive move, blood surging, Wolfen, and Thunderwolves, and it is the only thing that makes that detachment in any way, shape, or form good, to the degree that people took it to WTC, more or less, right? The lethal hits on the guns is fine.
The
But
lethal part is pretty hot. But
the
yeah,
lack of advance and charge really holds that detachment back. But
That's
the
true.
access to advance and charge plus blood surge makes it a nightmare to play around, and is one of the things that made it a very effective thing, like a Thousand Suns counter at WTC, which is why a lot of teams took it, because they had a really, really difficult time playing around that ability. Cool. Let's do plugs. So, thank you so much for being with us so far for the show. We've got about another half hour to go, but do stick around because we'll be doing some questions from the audience. But let's start off with the easy bit. If you're enjoying the show, please do all the social things. It really does help us out with making sure that people see the show, and that we know what you guys are liking and what you guys aren't. You know, interact with us, chat, leave us a like, leave us a comment, subscribe if you would like to. You know, it really does. You know, make sure you see all the stuff we do, like all the other shows and our live when we're going live and all that kind of stuff. If you're in a position to support us a little bit more, you can check out patreon.com/statcheck or the YouTube memberships, which you can find in the description box below. $5 a month gets you access to our Patreon Discord. You can chat with us. You can take part in the Vibe Check leagues. You can bully us when we make terrible decisions and post lists, and just kind of all the general chat that goes along with that. We really do appreciate everyone who's involved, and it's going from strength to strength as far as we're concerned. We will be doing a bunch of this behind the scenes content for the upcoming event where I'm going over to the States, so you will hopefully keep an eye out for some Patreon exclusive stuff, Patreon/YouTube exclusive stuff. So if you want to see more from us, that is the place to be. It'll be obviously a little less polished because it'll be a bit more on the fly, but we are looking forward to getting that out there. If you'd like to support any of our sponsors, StatCheck is brought to you by Red Dragon, Saltar Games, Wayland Yutani, and J15 Games. You can find links to all of them in the description box below. Red Dragon is obviously our title sponsor. You can find their red-dragon.ca. There's a Patreon code for 15% off across their entire store, and they're going to, they're one of the biggest suppliers in Canada for everything you're looking at 40k wise and all that kind of stuff. So if you're looking for 40k board games, Magic, all that kind of stuff, you can find it with Red Dragon. Saltar Games and Wayland Yutani and G15 all do a variety of terrain, widgets, mats, all that kind of stuff. So if you're looking for any of those, if you're in Europe, check out Wayland Yutani. If you're in the UK, check out Saltar Games. And if you're in the US or Canada, check out J15 Games. They'll be able to get you stuff that you're looking for in any of those areas. If you want to hear it from any of the other shows on our network, that is us, 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. UK time every Tuesday. We are here live talking Warhammer. If you want to hear from End of the Matrix occasionally, whenever they figure out their schedules, because God, those three are crazy people. One day they will have something resembling consistency. We'll see. You can find Take All Comers, and you can find back episodes of all of our other shows like End of the Matrix, Take All Comers, XM1, Champions of 40k, and the new Medicaid orders, as well as back episodes of StatCheck. If that's something you're interested in, you want to listen to those, there's a bunch of good content there. XM1 particularly timeless. Anthony, when are you guys doing this extra bonus thing that you were talking about? Come on, I need to hear this.
Sorry that the people involved are,
Cliff.
by their very nature of the thing that we're trying to do, very busy.
Classic Cliff, right? If you want to get some support from any of our coaches as we come into what is hopefully a very, very busy start of next year, new ITC season, new beta slate that's coming at some point, probably a new edition coming up soon. If you want to work with any of our StatCheck coaches, check out stat-check.com/coaching, or drop us an email at coaching@stat-check.com. We'd be more than happy to work with you as we go into this season. I think that's all I've got to plug. Let's do show questions. As always, there are 3 ways to get questions on the show. 1, ask a really good question in chat that we pick up on and like. 2, be a member of our Patreon Discord and ask a question in the show questions thread. And 3, leave a super chat like Zvipster's done. Thank you, Zvipster, for the 20 Danish krona. DESOS blowing up, or am I just an alpha chamber? Absolutely. Steve Trimble's list at WCW was incredibly cool. It went 7-1. Alex Sacco's been playing it and shouting it out a bunch. And I'm very, very sure that we will continue to see a lot of people charging people in their opponent's movement phases, because 10th edition is the edition of our turn.
That shit is everywhere now. Holy moly, dude.
It is pretty good.
It's got me looking at Jakari for Vegas.
It's pretty good.
I have no respect for it whatsoever, but I appreciate that it is a good army. I'm kind of like Anthony with Ultramarines with Nutrakari. I'm just like, nah, I just don't care.
I think Reaper's Wager is really interesting. I think this list is a genuine menace and can be a menace at least.
I
But I
don't
think
disagree at all. I just refuse to respect Drakari players right now.
I think there's an element of if you are the type of person to get caught up in the like, oh, I'm gonna put out a unit and then they're gonna put out a unit cycle. Spectacle Spite is gonna just spin cycle you into the floor.
Yeah,
Like it's not
100%.
even gonna be a thing. But if you
Yeah.
don't do that, a little messier, you know?
Yeah.
Make him fucking have it, bro.
Yeah, if you just let the game be a shit show, elves usually hate that.
I like playing. I'm happy to get down and muddy in a game of Warhammer, right? I got time. I'm not gonna clock out, so let's get messy, boy.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some show questions from the Patreon Discord.
Sure. I
When
will
you
shout
got
out the
the
other
list.
people who, yeah, I got it. I will shout out the other people who did
Oh, there are more?
give us money. They're not questions, but Ilpisby
okay.
said, gave €2. Thank you for the €2 for Innis's Bullied by Anthony Fund.
Thank you for helping StatCheck
And then-
recover some of the money we spent on my flight.
Z-Vipster, as we already talked about, 20 more Danish kroner for, wait, I'm finally watching it live dash. Hi, Mom.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then another 20 kroner for a Victrix Honor Guard captain who can take a Victrix. There you go.
And they take victory pretty well too. So
That's true.
It's true. All right. Now we're going to go into the Patreon questions, and then if we have time, we'll get into some other chat questions. But I think we'll just do Patreon questions today. Lucas asks, how many test games do you want before you are happy about a certain score on a matrix?
3, ideally. You can get like a vibe after 1. 2
I
is like,
make half my matrices up to begin with.
I mean, most people, right? But 3 is like for the really important ones where I'm trying to be in the zone of.
I would like to have played it going first, going second, and with the person who thinks they're disfavored trying to like score as high as they can, but not necessarily win. Like knowing that, like, if you go into you play your first game, it's experimental. You're trying to figure out the vibe because you don't know the matchup yet. You play your second game with the other version of going first or second. That feels like a more better representative. And then the person who thinks they are disfavored tries to play for a 7 instead of getting blown out. Can they do that? If not, cool. It's a big win. If they can, it's a small win, right? Or vice versa.
The next question is from Ilpisby, which is, what armies would you suggest for a player that wants to be often first defender for his team?
Guns.
Guns that want terrain specifically. You should ideally be playing a list that like has a couple bad matchups that get flipped if you give it terrain choice. Where it's like, yes, this is bad
Chaos.
for me, but I can
Knights.
just say, actually, I don't give a fuck. I have the terrain. If you're playing a gun list that like needs specific terrain to have like okay matchups, is probably not a great first defender. So you're looking for something that's like, yeah, man, if I get like attacked by the things that I think are bad, terrain puts it back to being neutral or positive. If you're just like, yeah, the things that are bad, you're probably better as a scrum defender or like a middle attacker.
And then Frank has several questions. The first of which is, are there any Marine detachments that 12 to 18 Victrix can't make at least semi-decent?
Yeah, lots of them. Don't go and try, Frank.
The second question is, for Innis, did you test swapping Victrix into your triple Redemptor list from LGT? How close in power do you think Stormlass has compared to old Gladius?
Yes,
I did not. I did not try that because I immediately went with, I want to play Vindicators because I don't want to play the mirror match, and they're very good in the mirror match. I'm going to make them blood surge into my Vindicators and then shoot them in the face. That felt much better than trying to be clever with Vindicators. How do I think this compares? I think the Storm Raven in Stormlands really, really liked UKTC terrain, and I was not playing on UKTC terrain. So I did not really kind of have a look at that. I think the Storm Raven is very terrain format dependent, and like WTC 4-5 layouts are okay for the Storm Raven, and you can certainly do it, but it's not my preference. So I just decided not to.
Fair enough.
I'm not doing cute shit this year. I'm just doing what, like when I'm playing the events that I think might be IDC scores, I'm just playing what I think is best.
Next question is for everyone. What do each of you want to see for your favorite armies, and what do the weakest armies need?
The weakest armies is tough. Like, I don't really know how to fix that, but
Yeah. Put agents in legends and stop gaslighting their players into thinking it's a real army.
That would
Because
be cool.
you
honestly.
really just need to rip that band-aid off because
Yeah.
you're never going to support it. Like I do not think legends players should have their army removed from the game. I want to clarify that because agents players get really uppity about this one. I don't think agents should be removed, but if you're not going to support them, stop lying about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think that army just needs a functional, like actual functional army rule, and it probably could work.
I don't think they're like they should either like just give up the ghost a little bit and roll Custodes and Grey Knights into it, and then give them a rule that lets them work with the little shitters well, or do it instead. I think, but
Mhm.
hard to say.
I think knights, you probably just need to give them like a little bit of a boost in something that isn't points, please.
Chaos Knights are good.
Chaos Knights are fine, but Imperial Knights.
Oh, sure. Let them also take Beasts of Nurgle, and they'll be fine too.
Give them a Beast of Nurgle unit just in their book.
Beasts of Nurgle can be the agent's army rule. You just get 3 Beasts of Nurgle.
There you go.
They're just gonna they're gonna print pennant and engines into the as Beasts of Nurgle into the agent's book, and then let you ally them in. There you go.
Ooh,
My
a
favorite
rare
army is
instance, hold on, of me being willing to say Custodes should have a change that would affect them positively. Their swords should absolutely be damage 2. Why are they damage 1?
Oh, the ones on
What
the like
the
the Misericordias?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the sword and board guys.
Sure, yeah. They can be 5. If Vitrix can be 5/2/2, so can they.
They can be
I want them-
6/2/2. What the fuck?
Just unlegends grotesques, and I'll be happy. Just unlegends them and give me new sculpts.
Jakari
please.
aren't
That's what I
struggling.
want.
Shut the fuck up.
I just want them back in it.
I also would.
Wait for the. Well, you'll get them in a kill team data sheet.
Oh god.
Oh, God damn it.
I want
Me-
Carnifex. I want Carnifexes to be fucking murder machines.
That would be cool.
Please.
I think that'd be
That'd be
great.
so
Fair.
cool. I want Carnifexes to like hit on 3s, but just like as a first starting point. That'd be nice.
Fair, that's a dream. I love it, Ines.
I think that I don't really know what I would change in Eaters. I would like to see like
Dad buffs.
yeah, I mean Dad having anything on the right side of his data sheet would be cool. Like I was gonna make a meme out of this the other day, and then I just got too lazy. But I was gonna post like the Angron data sheet just without anything except Deep Strike and like written vertically in big red letters and nothing else on the data sheet.
So it's like it's the Angron data sheet at 100% power is the regular one. The Angron data sheet at 99% power is just a blank rules box.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that's that's kind of what
Angron
it is,
should have
right?
the Hellroot rule.
What?
Angron should have the Hellroot rule.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that should be the rule that he gets. I think that would be a bad idea.
Angron should have Flight Curse.
I think that there are lots of things that you could do to him that would be really interesting. I am hopeful that something happens to him in the slate.
He
to
should
make
have
him-
all the blood type buffs active all the time on himself
That would be
Interesting.
fine.
Interesting.
Sure.
as one of his like pick a thing abilities.
Yeah.
Just
he's
like
got
that's one
all
of his
them.
things. He can have all of them.
Sure. I don't.
Just him, but
Yeah. Whatever. Something beats whatever he's got going on right now, which is nothing. So
hey, he has a really bad fallback lock.
he does have a really tragic fallback lock. That is true.
Fair. All right. Next question is also from Frank, which is what? Finally, on the subject of weak armies, what kind of abilities should Captain Titus and Titus detachments give to the Ultramarines underrepresented Ultramarine? The ultra
Captain Titus
underrepresented
should not get shit.
Ultramarines.
I hope Captain Titus gives you AOC always on, -1 damage in melee, and comes with 5 additional dudes who can all tank multi-battle shots and cost 120 points.
Go away.
God damn it, Innes.
And give you
All right.
Reglets.
Next question.
Eric has the next question, which is give us your wild speculation for what Marine units end up in the starter box. I
Nope.
say Vanguard Veterans and the new Land Speeder Storm.
No.
We're not speculating. We don't do that
All
here.
right.
Too many people we know have NDAs and we don't want to get people in trouble if
True.
we're right. That's the the genuine.
This isn't there. We can't do the next one because it's wild predictions on new detachments. And then the third one is, now that we are getting to the end of 10th, which faction do you think GW treated the best this edition? Perhaps was viable, such good for the longest, or got decent attention? Necrons.
Always Space Marines.
I think Necrons have been consistently the most powerful faction, stably powerful faction across the whole edition.
Okay, dealer's choice: Necrons, Eldar, Space Marines. It's one of those
There you
three,
go.
whichever one you're biased towards.
I am horrifically biased against Necrons, but I feel like at basically no point have I been like, oh, fuck, it's Necrons when I got to the table. Like, that's never happened to me at any point in the edition. Have I been like, oh, shit, Necrons, no, ever.
I did not enjoy the Hypercrypt secret mission metagame, but we're very
Whatever.
different players at that time.
Fucking, like, I don't know. It just never happened. I was never like, oh, shit, you know? Whereas, like, many times I have.
Oh god, it's Eldar.
Yeah. Eldar. Marines. Fuck CSM. Any of those, I think, would be your optimal choices.
I honestly think like there's a decent if it wasn't for the last day, there would be a decent effort GSC as well. But
Yeah.
Sure.
Did Art of War describe my Angron in some way, shape, or form on stream today?
oh yeah, they described your Angron. You should definitely watch it because it was quite funny. As being like Walter. It's like Walter describes everyone as having like a model that when they play it, it's got theme music. And
Yes.
Anthony's Angron has got theme music playing when he goes in. And Michael was bemoaning, like, I've done all the math. My great and clean one should live 90% of the time. I'm trying to bait Anthony into going in for this turn one. And Anthony was just like, yeah, fucking, go away.
Yes, that's my, I think the best description I've ever heard for, like, my relationship with Angron is that he's like my Charizard.
I like it. That's
Little
a good
unruly
one.
fuck doesn't
He's
do
your
what I
star-
tell
he's
him to
100% your
90% of the
star
time,
Pokemon.
but when I need him, he's there.
All right. Yates has the next question, which is: would bringing back an alliance matrix be good or bad?
Bad.
Fair enough. All right. Floof has the next question. They are asking, guys, if you lived in a parkour society, would you make the 1 block jump for the chicken or the 1 block vertical jump for the beef?
And I
don't
this question
understand.
because I
this
don't
reference.
understand it. Yeah.
It's too,
I also don't understand
it's
it.
too online, Floof.
6, 7.
Yeah, sorry. God damn it, Ines. Jeff, Death Company Forklift asks, is Gladius still good? What the fuck? Question mark.
Of course, Gladius is still good. It has every rule in the game except Fire and
It's
Fade.
true.
Have we hit the point yet where you can play Blood Angels in Gladius? I've been waiting for this all edition for it to just come around. To the point
Right,
where,
right
like, it's a
back to
reasonable
Serrano's
thing to
original
do.
list.
What?
Mhm.
Right back to Serrano's original list.
Right, yeah, for real. Maybe not the Desos, but we'll talk about that for the charity GT.
You're just,
Maybe Blood
it's just
Angel
10,
Gladius.
10 Death Company and fucking Gladius with Lance and +1 AP.
I mean, just like, it cleans up a bunch of problems. It gives all the angels advance in charge at the same time. Fight on Death is really helpful for that army that's really not great in the melee mirrors. It could be a thing.
You're welcome to be the one that tries it.
All right.
I'm going to try and convince
I'm pretty
you
sure
to try
Borgia's
it.
been playing that for like a while as well.
Who? Oh,
Borgia?
Borgia? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's still just what he plays, like double ball, double Vindicator, Gladius, all Gladius.
You lose me at double ball. I'm playing Gladius because I'm trying to all in with my melee army at the same time. You know what I mean?
All right, next question. I guess it's more prediction stuff because it's just rules from Grotmess. We don't know anything and we don't want to get anybody in trouble, guys.
Yep.
Chris Polly has the next question, which is: this year I plan on dedicating the entire year to playing Imperial Agents, playing at least 8 GTs. Any tips for keeping my sanity?
You better
Yeah,
love
like-
the process.
Therapy.
Yeah.
know.
Therapy's a good. I mean, that's a good suggestion for anybody, though. Anthony is therapy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I started with the stuff that is broadly applicable, but specifically in this instance, therapy for sure.
The next questions are from Isaac Shadow Crayon T. The funniest 2v2 list combo you can play is the first one.
I don't play 2v2, but
I
I'm
don't
pretty
play
sure
twos,
the
bro.
funniest one is like playing an army that benefits from your opponent being battle shocked and Tyranids. Because that's just very funny to me.
That is very funny. All right, and then the second one is: can I get a definition of a super major from Innes?
No.
Fair enough. The next question is from Marcus, the bad player.
Yes.
Since Black
Fucking
Legion,
Plague Legion with make you fucking die when you fill a battle cast and Tyranids.
Yeah, there you go.
Marcus, the bad player, has the question: since Black Legion are the boring vanilla Legion like the Smurfs are for loyalists, when are we getting Chaos Victrix so Abaddon can have some 4-wound super melee blood surging body cards?
Listen to me, Games Workshop.
Wow, we're really in
I don't ask for
space
much.
now.
But I would fucking love a reason to play Black Legion, and that would be real good.
4 wound, blood
Fair.
surging, bile chosen. Add a +1 wound to the bile table.
We're going back in and redoing my like world leaders as like Blood Legion proper, and we're gonna be going back and doing my CSM as Black Legion or not Blood Legion, Black Legion as well, and it's gonna be sick. I'm a big Black Legion fanboy, so if they could get fucking anything, that'd be so cool.
Fair and reasonable.
Yeah,
All
but they have Harken World Claimer.
All right, we're going to keep going now. Kara Quinn has the next question, which is, Innes, how does a 25 to 30 custodian guard build stack up versus the Victrix guard builds? You're the only one playing both of these builds.
Bad.
I can't imagine it's good.
Because better custodians is better than custodians. What do you want from me?
True.
Yeah.
The pretty good, I think, reasonable, good army does not stack up against one of the 3 best armies in the game right now in a metagame where the 3 best armies are better than everyone else by a decent chunk.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I do like that list, though. It is cool.
It's super fun. I'm having a great time with it. I'm not changing my list for the GT that I'm for the online event that I'm playing it in because I don't hate myself enough to kill a Victrix card against people when I'm at home.
Fair enough. All right. Floof has the next question, which is, how much do I need to crowdfund to get you to LVTT, Innes? That's
what are the dates for Las Vegas teams, Anthony?
Don't do it, bro. The 11th and 12th, I think, of January.
I think I am committed to doing. I already turned down a team invite that weekend because I think I'm doing UKDC Nottingham, so
Makes sense.
I'm already busy that weekend, I believe.
Fair enough. Next question is from Nick K, which is, what's a good Drukhari list look like? Anthony, what are you playing right now for Drukhari, actually?
I am planning to play Spectacle, but I don't have it 100% what I want to play with that yet. Because
it's like 25 to 30 Hellions, 9 to 15 Reaver jet bikes, a shit ton of witches and venoms, and then like some amount of scourges and baby Talos if you really want more anti-tank.
Yeah.
Fair. There, Zvipster has just a schematic for it, just posted basically in chat. If you want.
Why does Anthony look like? Is it Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle in that picture?
Well, it's because I pulled the fisheye lens camera directly into my nose.
I got that. But...
Yeah.
All right. The next question is from Jeff. Death Company Forklift, still my favorite title. When Fuegan and his backup dancers disembark within 9 inches of Victrix Guard from a wave serpent outside of 9 inches to cheese the reactive move, is nature healing, or have we broken the final seal and eternal suffering is nigh?
That's two armies that deserve each other.
Yeah. I wish they just didn't, you know? Remember back at the beginning of 10th when I was like, this seems like a bad framework. Like, bad shit's going to happen. And everyone was like, why are you being so negative? And then we all got Wraith Cannoned and forgot about it.
True.
This is the natural conclusion of 10th, right? This is where these roads lead.
Our turn.
Like this.
Right.
Our turn and ways to play around our turn is basically 10th edition right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to take a brief sidebar into Super Chats real quick. The first one's from 40K Sports Center, which I kind of love. Spectacle of Spite seems such a nightmare for world leaders. What can world leaders do?
So in the games that I've watched, have not had that experience pan out just yet. I could see why it would be really challenging, particularly if you're running something like more of the MSU builds, where the Prince is genuinely good into them, but a lot of the other components in that build really struggle into the efficiency of Drukhari. I think the Zerker Horde stands a better chance.
It's not pretty for the Drukhari.
Yeah, is my experience in the things that I've watched.
You get fight on death by chainswords that are strength 4 and your army goes away is not a fun place to be. And normally the chainsword fighting on death is bad.
And it's hard to dissect to that unit with a lot of the normal tricks that you would use to dissect a fight on death unit, because the Knife Elves want to be like, yo, I'll pin you in these places with these things, but the 3-inch engagement range really fucks with that. So it's hard. It's hard to connect cleanly, in my experience, in that. It is still just a melee mirror. And I've talked about this a bunch, where I think melee mirror has largely come down to, like, step one, and by a significant margin, the pilots. And then from there, every step after that is access to tools, right? Be that access to better MSU trading units, better access to -1 damage, better access to, on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But still step one, and again, by like 70% of what solves the melee matchups is the melee pilots and their comfortability in that given matchup.
Shove at them, make them have it.
Yeah, it's the Drakari really want you to play a trading game with them.
You don't have to.
I
You don't
think
have to do what
opt
Drakari
out.
asked you to do, man.
Yeah, I think you can opt out, and I think Spawn are likely very good into them. And I think that the combination of
Fuck
things,
your Venoms. They're all dead.
yeah, it can get you over the line for sure. I don't know that it, necessarily like fixes it. That's going to come down to some more experience in the space. But I think the biggest thing that people misread about Berserker Horde is that Berserker Horde is not a stat check like that. It's not a run out into the open against the enemy and just stand in the open and let them shoot you type of army. That's never been what it was. It's always been this really hard to unfuck pressure army, right? It stages pretty well.
It's a Rube Goldberg machine of screen exactly the right way that doesn't get you fucked by 6-inch ball consolidation plus 2-inch engagement range without losing 1,500 units. Kill the first one awkwardly because Blood Surge fight on death and -1 damage, and then get exploded by Karna the second one. Is usually how that game actually plays.
Yeah, and there's a lot of games that bear that rhythm, but I think the most commonly incorrect discourse I kind of see online with the Berserker Horde is that it's trying to stat check you. It's not. That's never the goal. It's never the goal with marine-shaped bodies. Right?
Sometimes your opponent will not be able to stop you from doing that, and those are games you get to play like that, not games you have planned.
That's not the default game plan.
Exactly.
Right?
That's the thing that sometimes you just look at your opponent's army like, I just don't think you can stop me right now.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to interact with you too much this turn, and you will lose to this regardless. And you get to play like that, but you do not default to playing like that.
Right. Yeah. That's been my experience with it. Obviously, Innis has won a fairly large event with it. It just doesn't. It's the part that I get that I see that is most incorrect in the discourse about it. And I would like to see that change over time. Hopefully, this helps people.
People really like playing on the MSU World Eaters build, and that's totally fine.
And that build is really good. It just has
100%.
some flaws, and those flaws get exposed really hard by certain things. Most of them elf-shaped at this point in time.
It was incredibly funny. Randomly, I was watching the Jack and Brian Doherty video, where they kind of chatted about the World Eaters matchups, and it was two of the matchups that I thought were the freest things on the planet they had in the bottom tier because they were playing the MSU version. I'm I've literally not seen that game go positive for elves a single time, and they're it's unplayable, it's the worst thing you supposed to be. And I'm we pair for this. What is going on? And they're just not playing the same build, right? It's just two different armies.
The flip side of that, right, is that I think the Chaos Knights matchup is terrible.
Yep,
but
and they think it's great.
Exactly. But it can be really good, particularly ignoring the differences in our builds primarily for a second, right? Because I talk to Brian more than I talk to most of the 40K scene at this point because he's looking to be in the academy this year. I talk to Brian D basically every day. There is ways to build an MSU build that hits the in-between, right? That is mostly combat elements, doesn't necessarily take the Prince of the Forge Fiends, but is still MSU based and has a ton of 8-bound in it. And that list will shit in Chaos Knights cereal because regular 8-bound kill the dogs and Exalted kill the big ones. And that shit fucking sucks. But you are, by virtue of playing that type of list, committing to doing that, and that does compromise some matchups, some of which are very popular and very good. That said,
elves.
Neither of these builds really have great answers into AdMech, and for that reason, playing singles as World Eaters can be a little tough.
To be fair, show me an army that has a good answer to AdMech, and I'll call you mostly a liar. But
I mean, the Vitrix seem to do okay.
Vitrix are all right. But again, Vitrix are their own separate problem, Anthony. We're not.
I mean, that's all 40K is, though, right?
Spider to catch the fly, right? This is not. We're not getting productivity here.
But that's all it is, right? 40K is an ever ongoing set of escalation because of the asymmetric balance of the game. You're always going to be chasing that dragon if you want to play the strongest thing possible, which is fine if you acknowledge that's what you're doing. But that is sometimes the answer. The answer to a fucked up broken thing is a different fucked up broken thing, right? It's until game balance people, the hand of the gods intervenes and changes the fucked up broken thing. The answer to beating that is not going to be something that is balanced. So
find your non-interactive mechanic and lean on it as hard as you can, boys.
Yeah, it's focus on your strengths, right? In the very specific World Eater example, I do give a lot of credit to the people that are actually, still out there playing. Haven't played since WTC. They're obviously having good success with these things. But there is a significant matchup disadvantage that you do leverage when you run into this thing. And that's all.
Fair. All right. One more super chat, which is from Ben Jurek, which is thank you
It
for
just
the
says Ben
$5.
J. Actually, don't infer his name from his.
Fair. What's the Victrix matrix into CK? I haven't had to play into this abomination yet.
I have played it one time. I scored a 20 without trying.
That feels more like the Vindicators did that than the Vitrix.
No, this
right?
was the triple. This was 18 Vitrix double Lancer, not the
Okay.
Vindicators version. I think the Vindicators version is a lot better into it.
Right.
I don't think it's very good. I think you kind of have to do like I'm going to shoot one at you, and you're going to AOC it, and I'm going to pop ignore cover, and I'm going to kill a few of them, and you're going to blood surge into something because you stood near an objective like a human being. And then the second one's going to have a really good goal at shooting down at you at its feet, and hope that that's enough, but it won't be.
Okay. Fair. Right,
And then you don't really have like an answer for like Guilliman or Vindicators, so that then gets real tough. I don't think it's very good.
Next question is Ian P. asking, is there a case for Rep X's instead of Vindies on GW terrain in the VHG builds for them?
Go on, Anthony.
For those
You
long
wanna
sight
talk
lines,
about
or are
this?
Vindies better there too?
Yeah, no, the Repex is a really good unit in Gladius. Most of the Gladius builds that I'll write for people if they ask you to just through coaching or from playing something for Oppo, I usually use Repexes just because a Storm of Fired Repex is comedy into a bunch of tanks, just being like, no save, boop, bye. I definitely understand the appeal of a Vindicator, but the Repex having some level of transport capacity over top of all of their offensive output is really appealing. And the range difference
love
matters
it
a
to
lot on
upsave.
GW.
Playing on WTC, I found that the Vindicator's shorter range and higher durability tends to be the preference. I really like the ability to just sit the Vindicator on a really sharp sight line, knowing that if my opponent wants to walk into range of them or line of sight of them, they have to give either the Vitrix a reactive move or a Blood Surge.
Yeah.
And being able to have a ton of control with that has been very, very powerful. I lost one Vindicator again in my game against Admech, and the other 5 games I did not lose a Vindicator, including playing against Fuegan and 10 Fire Dragons.
Yeah, they're tough boys.
You just never
Next
get shot.
question.
You never really have time.
You when you're getting drowned in Victrix bodies, shooting the Vindicators almost seems hard to do. Maybe just a tiny bit. Sean's question is: make an anti-wish list for the next update. The most confusing and unhelpful changes they can make.
No.
Buffing Victrix Guard. There you go.
I don't think that's a useful thing for us to spend our time doing.
Bearded Horse is the next question, which is Art of War's stream today talked about theme song models. What's your personal theme song model, e.g. Angron for Anthony, or your favorite of someone you know?
Wenger Launcher, Desolation Marine Sergeant. that guy is the fucking oh man, you hear the Nuketown end of game music going when I fire that boy.
John's Calgar, dude. I got gauntlets of Ultramar shaped fucking dents in my head from that thing.
Yeah,
mine was definitely Drazar in 9th edition. Had his own theme song music for most of 9th edition or 10th edition.
Look,
rather.
I get it. Wasn't the original Fight Club fucking art was me as Drazar, right?
Yeah, it was. It was. That was Drazar. It was on there.
I will say the until their untimely demise, the Primus Neo unit was definitely the the fucking God, what a unit.
Yeah.
All right. And then we have a question from Coco, which is feeling uninspired with writing lists recently. How do you decide on a faction that both meshes well with your play style and has a good chance at winning?
You don't. Is the real answer, right? You have to decide, winning is your play style in Warhammer, in my opinion.
Play style is mostly pretty fake. You have play pattern preferences, right? That's a thing. But play style, playing offensively or defensively or whatever, should be a decision you make based on the context of the game, not on what your style is.
The amount of times I've had opponents just opt into losing to me as I move into the middle and then stand the fuck still.
I'm a defensive player. I don't want to play aggressively. You're a defensive loser.
You're defensively... Look, you're going to make it out of this game with all of your models and no points on the scoreboard. And that happens to me all the time. or like
I call that
get
one. I call that
bottom.
one losing 15-5 to my reputation.
Yeah, no, that's a real thing, right? Like, yeah, it's something like that. It just is like, you know, you have to kind of make a decision at some point of if you're gonna play your list in alignment with how you want to play it, or to do what's best in the moment to push you towards winning.
The real answer is like watch some stream games and find looking for an army that plays the way that you want to play the game, and then go and do that. Right? Like identify the mechanics of Warhammer that you enjoy interacting with, right? That's what playstyle really means to me. What parts of it do you like doing? Do you like playing armies that lean towards aggressive melee? Do you like playing long range shooting? Do you like playing tricksy reactive stuff? Go and find the best army that does that thing and do it. That's the best way. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. There are hundreds of people out there who are really, really, really fucking good at designing wheels. You just have to ride the bike.
Yep.
That actually answers our last question, I feel like, which is it possible to be just bad at writing lists? And
Yep.
How would you improve, or should I not bother? Is kind of the final question about.
I'm gonna be honest.
Like,
to this day, feel like I'm not very good at writing lists. I just write lists that have a vague amount of redundancy and something approximating a game plan. That's it.
If I'm like, I would consider myself a fairly good list writer. I think at this point in my career, I've had a lot of time for innovation. I'm also very good at copying lists when I don't think I have a good list idea, right? And I think it's very important to have that space in there. I am perfectly comfortable writing a list that can win a super major. I've done it enough times that I'm happy saying that. I'm also very happy to say that sometimes I just don't have an idea for what I want to do, and that my best source is just taking someone else's, because sometimes you're just not feeling inspired, or you're not super up for it, or just nothing that you are putting together feels like it's sitting right because your perspective of the metagame isn't quite right now. And that's when I lean on, my friends and coworkers and all that kind of people to get cool ideas and from them, and then, leverage from there. It's worked pretty well for me at the end of last year, but not perfectly. I wrote my own one this time, and I won the super major. So maybe, Anthony, you are shit. I don't think that's really true, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's funny. So list writing is a skill. It does involve separate factors that do not necessarily involve being good at Warhammer. List writing is an entirely separate skill set that is, being able to identify how much of your list you need to put into a game plan, how much of the current meta game do you need to adapt for, what do you need to tech for, what's in your current meta game environment that you need to care about. Are you playing at a local event? What terrain are you playing on? All these, there's so many fucking factors going on. Or you can just take a thing that works and remove the variable. Like, that's fine too. It's completely okay to just go, I have seen that this list works. It is proven. I can watch a stream game of it playing to have a decent idea of what is going on. I can listen to a podcast with the person who ran it, or watch one of the videos that they made about it. I can just do that, and then I know that the list that I'm playing works, and that any issues with it are my end, and that's much easier to isolate the variables of you growing as a player. Now, if you want to get better at writing lists, identify a broken as shit mechanic. What is the thing that right now you think is fucked up strong, and it needs to be like Fuegan in a Fire Dragon, Fuegan and Fire Dragon is broken. Right? Identify a thing that is stupid, that you can compete with purely on the merits of how powerful that interaction with the current environment is, and then build a list that supports that. What weaknesses does that thing have? Okay, put in 600 points of things that stops that. Put in 600 points of things that play the mission, or stand on your home objective, or do some trading. And then put in like the rest of your points divided by damage units, and you won't go that far wrong. Right? Adjust that for small tolerances, but like, you go in with it, you're like, here is the broken thing that I want to exploit, the thing that I think is powerful right now. Here is enough mission play to play the game, and here is some shit to kill the stuff that thing isn't killing right now, because it can only kill one thing a turn, or interact with one or two things a turn. And then here is some stuff to like play the game and score some points with, and stop my opponent from dealing with the thing that I'm trying to prop the game up with. That's the core concept behind most good lists. Now, obviously, there are exceptions to that, right? That's a template for building a starter point of a good list if you are trying to get better at list writing. It is not the way that every list is designed, but you'll find a lot of commonalities across lists of like, 600 points of good trading units, 600 points of mission play and like flip your opponent's objective stuff and backfield objective holders, and then 800 points of divided by damage and broken interactions.
Yep.
And that's the last question that we got.
Fantabulous.
There's a really amusing chat about new Calgar data sheets that's going on in chat, so you should watch the replay of that. It's very funny. Although I personally think a fusion dance between Calgar and Gilliman would be quite funny.
Calgar with Redemptor Vitrix Guard in Redemptor armor. So it's Calgar,
Redemptor Victrix Guard with 4
Calgar in a
convertibles.
Redemptor Dreadnought with 2 Redemptors with shields as his bodyguard that joins Victrix Guard.
They've got Blood Surge too, just for fun.
They all died. They're still -1 damage. Calgar is like he has power +1 damage power fist, so he's and +1 AP power fist, so he's 13-3-4 twin linked on his Redemptor fist. Still gets 8 attacks now because he's in a Dreadnought. Obviously, he's got underslung Blastmasters that he ripped off a Noise Marine instead of plasma cannons.
All right. That's all we've got.
His Victrix Guard are both Brutalis Dreadnought, so they do impact mortals. D6 on a 2+ each.
Brutalis Guard, dude. You're gonna activate John.
Brutagard. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being with us for this episode of Stat Check. We have deeply enjoyed having you all here. Nathan's going to do a little bit of plugging, but we will be back next week, same time, same place. Nathan, take it away.
All right. If you join the Chris Pie 5 tier on Patreon, we get to thank you at the end of every episode. And I hope a bunch of you updated it because it's really boring to read all the same ones every single week, even though I love all of you dearly. You also get a bunch of other benefits in person. So you can get Chris Pie 5s from folks, challenge tokens from some folks. So go to Anthony's charity GT in a few weeks and get Chris Pie 5s from some folks in person. Ennis will be there. We forced him to be there.
I will be there
into being there
under something remotely resembling duress. I might even have some Team Scotland merch with me, which will be cool because we're getting that sorted out sometime this week. So I might have some widgets and stuff to give away.
There you go. All right. Now for the Cult of High Five callouts, which are the thank yous. Thank you to Christopher, the 21st Victrix Guard. And yes, Nathan, please roll the D4 for me. You can do it on Google. I'll roll a D4 real quick. Sure. A 2. Thank you to Willow Weeks. Thank you to Dan F. Thank you to Luke Harridans taking the Subway McCarthy. Thank you to David Catchphrase Clark. Thank you to Exhausted. Aren't we all? Thank you to James H. Thank you to Colton Dan F. Miller. Thank you to Fungus. Thank you to John V8 Gang. This bit has been canceled because the joke expired before the next show. Fair. Thank you to Cam, F. Dan, Morton, Hog Emoji. Thank you to Lady Malice's Footstool. Thank you to Josiah Gettle. Thank you to Frankie Fresh. Thank you to Isaac. Tonight on Stat Check, Nathan says, do drugs, kids. Innes wins a quote, super quote, major. And Anthony and a Helldrake kissing in a tree, KISSING Tirada. Thank you to mashed potatoes are the best Thanksgiving dish. We didn't get any Thanksgiving questions. Normally we get a bunch of Thanksgiving food-related questions. We didn't get any food-related questions. I'm disappointed in all of you. Dude. Thank you to Tom. Actually, just Ben Jurek is slacking because he asks all those questions.
That's true. Get it together, Ben.
God damn it, Ben. Get it together. Thank you to Thomas. Do not combine paint water pots and kittens that have figured out how to reach their question. That sounds terrible. That seems bad. Honestly. Yeah, it does seem bad. Thank you to Steven. All I want for Grotmas is Star Shadow rules to be reverted to 1.0 Ross. Thank you to Tom. Regrets trading Josh Allen to Nathan, even though it was fairish. I mean, fair. It was a good trade. It was a fair trade. But it also went badly because Josh Jacobs got injured right away. Thank you to I have not been marked safe from my Mini Factory Black Friday sales. Somebody send help or a larger hard drive. No. Thank you to Hart. Thank you to Floof. I only changed this because Nathan complained Cox. Fair enough. Fair. Thank you to come with me on a Gucci adventure, trademarked. Thank you to Tabled by Turn 2, but spiritually undefeated. That's the right way to be, honestly.
That's strong.
Thank you to John Garza, and then thank you to Henry. Penguins have a special gland to filter salt from ocean water so they don't die from salt poisoning, and I wish my 40K opponents did too. The wizard. You know what? Fair and reasonable.
You wish your 40K opponents had a special gland? Weird.
To remove all the salt from them. Often, yes. I
like penguin facts at the end of the shout outs.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, we should
keep that. I did bully Henry the one time.
Yeah, it better be. If it's ever not a new fact, we will riot. Yeah, this is our enrichment. This is the only reason we do the show.
That'll be the last episode we film. If there's no duplicates.
There's no new penguin fact. I'm fucking quitting.
We're out of them. Get more penguin facts. Yeah, the day we run out of penguin facts is the day that Stat Check has run out of stats to check.
If you run out of penguin facts, you better discover a new breed of fucking penguin.
Yeah, so figure it out. Something else.
All right, Z Vipster has one last question that I kind of want to answer because I'm amused by it. What Thanksgiving dish is the Victrix Honor Guard?
What
It's-
Thanksgiving dish just has too much going on? Stuffing?
They definitely are something that needs to accompany something else.
They're definitely
Yeah,
some
like-
white people
like
shit,
stuffing.
right? Like 100%. Some
I
like
mean,
over-engineered,
that is
suburban
just
mom, like Pinterest stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, you know what it is? It's like the yams, or like where they like fucking put marshmallows on top and then like a million other things. It's that. That's Vitrix Guard.
Fair. Yeah, that's sweet potato hot dish or something like that. Basically,
Whatever
is like what
the
that is. I
Midwest
don't know.
calls it, sure.
Fuck it. I don't know, man. Sweet potatoes with marshmallows. Ugh. Yes, that's the American deal.
There you go.
On that note, I hope
Your
everybody has a
country is-
wonderful weekend.
Your country is a disaster.
I'm gonna ignore all these. It's not because of the food, though, Innes.
And a little bit is. I'm not
Don't
gonna
come
lie.
at me. Don't come at me, UK person.
The food doesn't
I didn't
help,
say food
right?
was good here either.
The food in the UK is good.
It's pretty good.
People
I
fucking
think.
is,
get too
honestly.
up their
Clearly,
ass
I
about
enjoy it. Right?
All right, fair enough.
All
Okay,
right, guys. Nathan, say the thing.
bye bye.